people? My name is Tico from the Tico Fantasy Show, and I'm here with my pal.
So boys,
and you are watching the Not a Football Show!
We love the Tico Fantasy Show.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Not a Football Show. What's good?
A lot. So much is good in life. I woke up this morning.
Ain't that a beautiful thing? We love waking up.
Yeah. Then I see all my goddamn bills.
God damn it, I want to die!
And my bitch wives.
The dog shit on the floor.
Dog shit on the floor. My wife's bitching.
God damn it, the kids won't shut the fuck up.
Boss called me in on my day off.
God damn it, I got evicted.
But we still have Coors Banquet.
Oh, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
That's all that matters.
Hey, isn't it St. Patrick's Day?
Oh shit, it's St. Oh, I'm not wearing green!
I'm doing the jig under the table.
Are you? Damn, I didn't realize.
But on today's episode, we're going to be going over the best offseason moves, the worst offseason moves, and some free agents who are still remaining in free agency.
Yes, you want to do it now?
Yeah, I think we probably should.
We're going to do it now?
I want to do it now.
Let's do it live?
Now.
Okay. Let's talk about the best. What do we got at the best?
Let's talk about the best.
The best. What do you think the best move has been?
I have mine in no particular order.
Okay, yeah, me neither.
But right out the gate, let's talk about the Bears.
The Bears in that big fat line.
Yeah,
big old
dude.
Line.
Everybody loves the Bears. I want to talk about Joe Thuney. I want to talk about Jonah Jackson. And I want to talk about Drew Dalman. Everything they've done this offseason has been fantastic. Mr. Ben Johnson has gone out and done a great job of rebuilding this Bears offensive line. Caleb Williams, most sacked QB in the league last year. Now, hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah, and when you watched them play, that was their biggest issue. Caleb was constantly under pressure. Sometimes his fault, not gonna lie.
Yes.
It was his fault sometimes, but a lot of times he was sacked almost
instantaneously.
Yeah, and it was not very pretty to watch. But this also does something else for them. They have a top 10 pick. This gives them more flexibility. They don't have to go O-line now. Everyone just constantly mocking them offensive line.
Even though there's some good offensive linemen who are going to be available
they could
at
still
their
go
pick.
tackle.
Yeah, they could
still go tackle.
They could get rid of Broderick Jones, which I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, we'll see. But it definitely does give them more flexibility than they have. Not even just in the first round, just the rest of the draft also. Yeah. Just gives you more weapons to help develop Caleb or maybe even some defensive guys.
I like it. They've done arguably the best.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, in terms of beefing up the trenches, absolutely.
And not even just the offensive trenches, the defensive trenches as well. Grady Jarrett, Mr. Dayo Odeyingbo.
Ooh, you nailed that. That was nice. I think you nailed it. I don't know.
I probably got it wrong.
Sounded good. Yeah. So I mean, like you said, Grady Jarrett coming from the Falcons, he's been a very, very good player.
Great veteran presence to have in the locker room.
Yeah, and really they're eating their meat and potatoes, man. I'm sorry, not eating their meat and potatoes. They're eating their veggies.
They are eating their veggies. Got a little green bean, a little asparagus.
Asparagus. Yeah. And really, you kind of think of like who they lost.
No,
really just
Keenan Allen, which is that really a loss? You know, now that just opens up the door more for Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, and you still got Cole Kmet.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we just talked about it off camera. Rondell Moore's visiting there right now, so maybe there's your 3.
That's a fun gadget guy. I'd love for them to get Rondell Moore.
Absolutely, he would fit right in on that last spot.
Even though he's coming off a ACL, Achilles.
I remember
he broke something.
Yeah, something not good happened.
Yeah,
to him.
Give me one of your best.
I got one that's great for the team and one that I like for fantasy football because I'm a big fantasy man. I'm a good fantasy football guy.
You are.
Devontae Adams to the Rams. Excuse me.
Devontae Adams to the Rams. I'm a fan of this one.
Absolutely. Devontae Adams gets to play with probably the best quarterback he's played with since Green Bay Aaron Rodgers, and even maybe better than some of the years of Green Bay Aaron Rodgers. He was kind of ass sometimes. Yeah. But I love it. He's gonna have the Cooper Kupp role probably, and he is leagues ahead of Cooper Kupp in my opinion. More athletic, more electric, just as good of a route runner, great hands as well. He's going to be really fun to watch with Puka.
I love Devontae Adams. This has been one of, they saved money.
Right.
And they got better.
Yeah.
What more could you want?
Nothing.
I don't know. Pretty simple. You could want. Especially in that division where, the Seahawks went out and did a couple things. It's a whole revamp thing over there, so you can't even look at that, even make any decisions about that. But the Niners lost a lot of guys. The Cardinals really didn't do anything crazy besides Josh Sweat. I mean, they're definitely a big winner in that division as well.
Yeah, they got to be the favorite, right?
I would imagine. Say, the Seahawks.
It's just the Seahawks.
It'll be interesting.
So different.
It'll be interesting. So different now.
And then you take into account how well they've drafted on the defensive side. Making a move like this on the offensive side is really great to see.
Yeah, the Rams are. I liked everything the Rams have done this offseason. It's been a good offseason for them.
You want to go to your next one?
Yeah, let me give you another good one. I hate to say it. The Broncos.
Yeah.
The Broncos, man. Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga. That defense just gets a little bit better. And now, with seeing the Derek Stingley extension, it makes the Patrick Surtain extension look so good.
Yeah.
$24 million a year for Patrick Surtain, $30 million a year for Derek Stingley. Arguably, I think I'd rather have Surtain than Stingley, even though they're both very good corners. Yeah. But everything they've done has been fantastic. I think they've gotten way better, and I believe they brought in... Who was the receiver they brought in?
They brought in Evan Ingram.
Yeah. I totally forgot about Evan Ingram. I'm so sorry. Yes, Evan Ingram. Huge move. Tight end is a quarterback's best friend. I love it. The Broncos have done great this offseason. I hate to admit it because, I'm always been a Bo Nix hater, but shit, I'm ready to... I'm not going to hop on the train with you because I don't think I'm allowed to get on the train, but I'll gladly wave you off.
Yeah, there's a big sign with your face on it.
Yeah, they got faces of me in the window.
Allowed.
It's like I got a big circle
Shoot
and an
on
X
sight.
through it. Wanted dead or alive. Yeah, Broncos fans ain't fucking with me. But I really like what they did this offseason. I compliment them.
Yeah, looking back on the PS2 deal, I believe he's just barely a top 5 paid cornerback in the
He
NFL.
is the...
I think he's like third or fourth
highest paid corner in the league, behind Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, it's Jalen Ramsey and frickin' J.C. Horn.
Oh, man. Dude.
Yeah.
That J.C. Horn most paid corner really lasted long, huh?
But that Derek Stingley extension, yeah.
That's crazy.
The Derek Stingley extension is going to makes that one look good. The Sauce Gardner extension that's going to come soon is going to make it look even better. The frickin' Trent McDuffie extension is going to make it look even better. And
he's going to slide out of top 5.
Yep. And the Broncos are good thing for the Broncos. Good for them. They deserve that.
Paying barely top 5 money for the defensive player of the year.
Yeah. They need a receiver.
Yeah.
They need a receiver. I love Evan Ingram. They need a receiver. You get a receiver, you go out and you get a Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, one of them old heads, just somebody to give Bo Nix another little edge. I think that'd be a really good thing for them.
Amari Cooper.
I would love to see Amari Cooper in the Denver Broncos jersey.
Absolutely.
Elijah Moore's a free agent.
Shit, he sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
they got Trent Sherfield.
Yeah, hey, Trent Sherfield.
All right, Finn's legend. All right, let's go on to my next one. I got the 2 moves from one team, Laramie and Debo to the Commanders. They did what you need to do when you have a superstar quarterback on a rookie contract. You go all in. I think I said it last time.
Push all the chips in.
All the chips in. Laramie Tunsil. A lot of people are talking about Laramie Tunsil. He's getting old, and I know he has penalty issues. I believe he was had the most penalties in the NFL all season. But
still good.
There's people saying he's not good. I don't understand where that's coming from. I mean, I looked on PFF last season. The left tackles for the Commanders gave up 10 sacks, 57 pressures. Not great. Laramie Tunsil over the past 3 seasons combined has given up 10 sacks and 65 pressures. That's an upgrade.
Come on.
That's an upgrade.
Come on. Smack him on the ass.
Smack him on the ass. 5 of the last 6 seasons, he's had an 85 grade or better for PFF. So, I mean, you're going to tell me this guy's bad?
No, I'm not going to tell you he's bad.
Tell me this guy's not worth a second and a third?
He is.
Yeah, he is.
I also have them written down as they were my last team for my best move.
Gotta be. And you're talking about him getting old. Honestly, a lot of tackles age like fine wine, man. I mean, we see Trent Williams, old as hell.
Trent Williams is 35, I think.
We saw Andrew Whitworth. He was old as hell. He was great.
Balls.
Tackles don't age terribly.
It's so weird. It's a weird... Zach Martin, I believe, who's probably likely going to retire. I believe he did retire. He did. 34, 35. I mean, they just last a really long time.
Yeah, so they probably have 5 or 6 more seasons left of him.
Probably.
So, and real quick, Debo. If you get even a fraction of what he has been in the past, there was times that he looked like the best run after catch receiver in the NFL.
5th round pick.
Yeah.
Cheap,
dirt. Not even the best run after catch receiver. He looks sometimes like the best after catch player in the NFL, including running backs.
He needs to lose 15 pounds. If Debo Samuel loses 15 pounds, we will get the old, 2021?
Around there, yeah.
2021 Debo Samuel will be back, especially with Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury is one of the smartest offensive minds in all of the game, and having him with Debo, I just think it's a monster duo. Throw him in the backfield. Do whatever you want. Cliff Kingsbury will 100% utilize his skills to the max ability he can.
Get creative with him.
Yeah.
Yep. You got another one?
I'm out of... Oh, actually, I do have an honorable mention, but I'll throw it in there as one. The Patriots.
Just everything?
The Patriots. Harold Landry, Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, I can't think of this guy's name. Robert Spillane. Mac Hollins, Morgan Moses. I mean, they went out and they spent their money, and I think they spent it fairly good.
Yeah, you don't get to take that money home at the end of the day.
No, you don't. You don't. And you got to, you can't just keep saving it and saving it and saving it. You got to go out and eventually spend it. And, the linebackers they grabbed, very good between Harold Landry and Robert Spillane. Love them. Harold Landry's got the rapport with Mr. Mike Vrabel back from Titans days. And then Milton Williams on the line. I like that. That's a replacement for Devon Godchaux. Yeah. He's gone. But Carlton Davis alongside Mr. Gonzo. I like it. I mean, Mike Vrabel loves to have a strong defense, and I like
it's hard to be a loser when you shell out a bunch of money to go get some of the best players in free agency.
Yeah, I just wish they need a receiver once again. Another team, them and the Broncos are just in desperate need of a receiver, and they said they were going to go all out to get one, and quite frankly, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, there's still some guys out there, and a lot of these guys are probably just falling in love with some of the draft receivers.
There's some great. I love Emeka Egbuka. I love Ted. I love Matthew Golden. I love. There's another guy. Luther Burden. Trey Harris. I'm not a big Trey Harris guy. Not a big Trey Harris guy.
Come on, man. Torrey Horton.
Not a big Trey.
Getting ugly. I'm talking about the later round guys.
Jaden Higgins.
There you go.
A couple fun guys.
A lot of fun guys.
But yeah, the Patriots made some good moves.
Yeah. I have another. Actually, I have two more small ones. Do you have any more after this?
No, that was it.
All right, I'll go with these two then. First one, New York Giants beefing up the secondary, giving really fair, not cheap, but good deals to Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo. Much needed help to a Giants defense. Their pass rush and their line, it looks. I mean, on paper, it's really good.
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, even though he hasn't been that great.
Dexy.
Hey.
Sexy.
Hey.
Sexy.
Hey. Yeah, but just some more help in that secondary. Amazing. Love it. Yeah. My last one, just another small one, 2 years, $20 million deal for Mekhi Becton to the Chargers. A great run blocker going to a team that wants to run the hell out of that rock.
Yep.
Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman, they're going to absolutely love him. And honestly, I just like seeing Mekhi Becton get this contract because he just revived his career.
He really did. You got to thank the Eagles. Fuck yeah, the Eagles did everything for him so much, and he will forever be in their debt.
Yeah, and he's a $20 million.
And that offensive line kept everybody else around. So
yeah, it's
a good.
Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, Mekhi Becton.
It's good.
Decent line.
It's good. It could be pretty good. Najee, I'm Najee.
Hey, Najee stock.
Najee,
all stock.
But it's probably the best O-line Najee Harris has ever played with.
Oh yeah, well he's played on the Steelers.
The Steelers O-line was decent this past year. Not Chargers good, but it was decent.
Yeah, but he wasn't good last year.
No, he wasn't.
He looked like shit.
Yeah, he did. Running with jeans on.
Yeah. You want to get on to the worst?
Yeah, let's go to the worst. This is the fun part.
Yeah, this is the fun part. Honestly, I have less worst, though, because I feel like a lot of people are saying overpays, but I kind of just like to think of it like the cap got more.
Yeah, the cap. I mean, the cap did go up by $25 million, so that's basically a whole extra player, an extra good player.
Yeah. And,
so,
do you want to?
I'll start you off.
Start us off.
Texans O-line decimated, and for what? C.J. Gardner-Johnson?
Shit. I mean, I don't hate the C.J. Gardner-Johnson move.
I
think they're one of the better secondaries in the league now. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, but I also think they're one of the worst offensive lines in the league now.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Their offensive line took a fucking beating, and I don't really see how they're going to replace everybody. I mean, I believe they went out in free agency and got
a guard,
an old man. Somebody's old.
He's good, though.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Not expensive, though. But yeah, what are they going to do? Go into the draft and take somebody? I mean, who was it?
1 year contract for Laken Tomlinson.
Laken Tomlinson. But still.
1 year.
It's Laken Tomlinson. You're not going to replace the guys you lost.
Yeah, you cut Shaq Mason, traded Laramie Tunsil, traded Kenyon Green. I mean, obviously, it's to get younger.
Yeah.
More.
It's also a new offensive coordinator there. I'm not quite familiar with the new offensive coordinator, but I don't know.
Maybe he's going to take a Dolphins approach and just be like, hey, we're just going to throw the ball as fast as we can so we don't need
how's that worked?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, fantastic. A couple concussions later.
My top worst move, actually, this is no order, but my first one, Daniel Jones to the Colts. So I believe it was like 1 year, $17 million contract. So the Colts basically were like, oh, we have a mobile quarterback that can't throw the ball and is trash as hell. Let's bring in some competition. Let's bring in a mobile quarterback who can't throw the ball who's trash as hell, but he looks like a fucking dork. Like, I mean, I don't understand it. Like, I understand. I love bringing in competition for Anthony Richardson, but Daniel Jones?
There were so many better options. I'd rather them brought in Jameis Winston.
I would have loved that. Jameis actually is visiting with the Giants.
I know he is. I know. I'm kind of excited for that. I got Malik Neighbors stock.
Dude, a quarterback room of Tommy DeVito and Jameis Winston.
Shit, I'm down with it.
They need to start a podcast.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one.
But yeah, I just don't really like it, especially for how much money it was. You could bring in competition. Like, Joe Flacco was competition for Anthony Richardson. He was having him benched like every other week. But you want to pay a bunch of money to Daniel Jones, who, I mean, there is a chance. Maybe he is better now that he's not on the Giants. It's possible. We didn't see him on the Vikings, so we don't know. But I don't like it that much.
The only reason I like it, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not going to sit here and say I do. The only reason I understand it is because compared to the other free agent names out there, not like don't talk about the Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers guys. Those guys are in a different league than Daniel Jones. Out of the lower tier guys, Daniel Jones is one of the only guys who has a chance if you bring him into your locker room where players will think, hey, maybe this guy actually has a chance of becoming our starting QB over Anthony Richardson. But at the end of the day, the Colts wanted to bring in a quarterback to make Anthony Richardson better. I don't think they really wanted to bring in a guy who could eventually take over for him. I think they still want Anthony Richardson to work out. And with Daniel Jones, there's a pretty good chance with that.
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of like, I'm thinking about it like what the Titans did a few years ago with Mariota and Tannehill.
Right, yeah.
Like, Tannehill ended up taking over the team.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is not taking over the team.
Like, hopefully that's their hope. I gotta think that's the Colts' hope. They spent the third overall pick or the third overall pick on Anthony Richardson. So the hope is that he, goes out there with Daniel Jones and fucking competes and starts playing better, starts throwing better, gets more accurate, uses those legs, doesn't get hurt,
right?
And goes out there and does his thing. And so Daniel Jones is a good QB, but not really.
Good QB.
Yeah, he's a quote unquote good QB.
I think what you're trying to say is he has like the
upside,
the starting experience.
Yes,
and he has the draft capital to his name. He was a first round pick. He has been a starter for a long time in New York. He had good years. He is coming off a giant contract where he took a team to the playoffs.
He's just enough to scare Anthony Richardson into being good. And I think that's what the Colts are thinking, and I hope that's what they're thinking, and I hope Anthony Richardson figures it out.
Yeah, because I mean,
I like Anthony Richardson.
I like him when he does the cool deep passes.
Exactly.
He can't hit a check down.
No, he can't hit a check down. But if he can figure out the easy stuff, I mean, there were a lot of players who had trouble with that. Jalen Hurts had a lot of trouble with that in the beginning of his career.
Yeah, I also just feel like if you need to scare your quarterback into being better, he's probably not the guy.
Yeah,
can you name a situation where that worked? I mean, I'm putting you on the spot, but I'm genuinely trying to
think about that for a minute. A situation where that worked, where they brought
Didn't work with Mariota. Tannehill took over the job.
Tannehill did take over the job. Did they ever do that with Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick? Not really.
No, they benched Fitzpatrick for him.
Yeah. No, I can't really think of one off the top of my head where that really happened, I guess.
And so if Daniel Jones ends up being really good and you replace Anthony Richardson, you look like the idiots that spent the third overall pick on Anthony Richardson. If he ends up not being good, then you're just losing more games, and then Anthony Richardson doesn't even have any real competition, doesn't get any better either.
I'm thinking so hard right now about, and I just can't. I can't think of anything. Yeah, I guess that's really never happened before. There's probably somebody who will be like, "Oh yeah, that happened before."
Yeah, it definitely has. Yeah, 100%. But I mean,
another bad move.
You want to do one?
I think the Jaguars didn't really do anything great. They spent $140 million on what?
I couldn't tell you.
Pat McCarry, Rob Hainsey, Jordan Lewis. I mean, fuck. You go out and spend $140 million. You got to bring in somebody whose name I know.
Dyami Brown.
Yeah, $10 million on Dyami Brown. I mean, God, shit. They spent so much money and didn't really... I don't think they have much to show for it.
Yeah, their big signing was Jordan Lewis. And honestly, at the time when we first talked about it, I wasn't super familiar with the contract and Jordan Lewis. People hate that contract. He apparently Jordan Lewis is not worth all that money.
He's a backup, is he? Was he? Yeah, he was a backup for the Cowboys. Yeah.
So if you're a backup on Dallas,
I don't know. They spent a lot of money, and it's just
they didn't get better.
No, they didn't. They're very much the same exact team, and actually, they might be a little worse. They lost Evan Ingram. They lost
Brandon Scherf.
Yeah, they lost a lot of guys who make up the formula of this team.
Yeah, a good foundation. All gone.
But then again, I'm not gonna I don't want to like completely shit on them because it is a new coaching staff. It is a new GM. It's new everything. And maybe they're cooking and we don't even know it yet.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Patrick McCarry and Robert Hainsey. Anyway,
what they said, what Gladstone said, James Gladstone, the new GM, I think his name's James Gladstone. Yeah. He said that they want to leave a lot of holes on this team going into the draft because they want to fill those holes with rookies and they want to give the rookies the opportunity to play.
Okay, yeah, I understand that, but I feel like it's also beneficial to have vets at those positions.
Yeah,
too.
and it's also beneficial to spend $140 million on guys who we know or guys who are going to actually, boost you up, do something for you.
Yeah, it feels like they did a lot of patching holes, but like with Band-Aids.
Yeah,
like
very
the
shitty
sinking,
Band-Aids.
The ship's sinking, and they instead of like actually repairing it, they just chewed up some gum and just...
Yeah, that'll work for now.
That'll hold. Got about 5 minutes. My next not so great move, it was a big one, and it's a cool move, but I don't know if I like it that much. I have DK to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they made him the third highest paid receiver in the NFL at the time when I did this, so he's probably not the third highest paid anymore because he's probably fourth, fifth.
Moved him down.
Well, I mean, only thing that's happened really is the Jamar contract.
Yeah, he's probably fifth now.
Fourth, fifth.
Yeah.
Still a top 5 paid receiver. Traded a second rounder for a receiver with basically the same physical profile as your current wide receiver one, and then paid him a shit ton of money, and the whole time your offensive coordinator is Arthur Smith, and you're just going to run the ball.
I hope that's not what happens. I mean, I hope they use DK. I know they didn't do it last year, but I hope they, you go out and you pay $150 million for a guy. I like to hope you go out and you use him. I mean, shit.
Yeah. And then on top of all that, you don't even have a quarterback.
No, you don't
You're
have a
still
quarterback.
waiting. Like, you went and bought, like, new nice-ass rims for your car, but you don't even have the damn car yet. Like, you pimped out your ride without a ride, bro.
No, yeah, you bought all the parts. You have nothing.
I mean, it could work out. I love DK Metcalf. I think he's a really great receiver, and I think it's really cool that the Steelers finally made a big move. They really don't do shit like this.
No, never. We always say they're going to, and they never do.
Right.
But they did make a great move to bring in another quarterback to help him. Mason Rudolph.
The cogs were turning. I was like, there's no way he's talking about Mason Rudolph right now.
Skylar Thompson.
Yes, 2 of the elites. I mean, at any time this could change, though. Aaron Rodgers could just be a Steeler.
Right now, it could happen right now.
Yeah, Russell Wilson could I don't think Russell's coming
They
back
could trade for Joe Milton, which the Patriots are apparently asking for a third-round pick for.
Yeah, and there's talks about Jackson Dart. I know you're not happy about that, but I don't really love, like, getting a bunch of receivers and hoping that a quarterback falls to you.
When you have George Pickens and DK Metcalf, those are 2 receivers who make it very, very easy for a quarterback. And then you got Freiermuth, you got Calvin Austin. It is a great situation for a quarterback to come into and basically have the keys to a Lamborghini.
Yeah, definitely. And then they don't have Najee Harris anymore. Jalen Warren's the running back there, but they also signed someone else. I don't remember.
Kenneth Gainwell. Kenny G.
Kenny G.
I don't mind Kenny G.
Giant Slayer.
Hey man, I do not mind Kenny G whatsoever. I'm a fan.
Yeah, so
But I think they'll definitely address that position in the draft.
Yeah, and the only other move. Oh, they signed Darius Slay on defense, but that was cool.
Oh, Darius Slay alongside Joey Porter Jr. is very fun. I fuck with that a lot.
Beanie Bishop.
Yeah, Beanie Bishop. Everybody, I'm pretty sure Steelers fans hate Beanie Bishop.
Really? I feel like every Steelers game I watched, he made a play.
Did he? I don't know. I want to say, did he?
Did he?
I want to say, I think they hate him. I don't know. I want to remember posting a video about him once upon a time, or maybe he was underrated. I don't know.
I think they hate him.
Yeah.
You got one?
I got one more. The Niners.
Just everything. Just the shit show.
The Niners lost a lot of guys, but they're eventually going to be back. They're going to be good. They're going to figure it out. But they lost so many guys. 10 starters. 10 starters. That's practically a whole fucking lineup. 14 players in total lost. 25% of their roster is gone.
Brought back Kyle Juszczyk.
Hey, Kyle, hey, we love the juices on the loose.
I didn't think he was going to re-sign. That was weird. They cut him and then signed him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty similar deal, too. I don't think they really saved much money.
They changed their mind. They're like, actually.
I don't really know what they were doing there. Maybe, like, his wife, like, complained or something.
Does his wife make the jackets?
Yeah. They might have just kept her for the $2 million.
Shit.
But, they just lost so many guys that you'll have to call them a loser. And it's not – I think they're going to be perfectly fine. I think they're going to figure it out. It's $85 million in dead cap this year, but next year, it'll be fine. Next year, they'll have plenty of money. I mean, yes, the Brock Purdy extension will eventually come, but I think they're going to be fine eventually. But right now, they're a loser.
Yeah, and really you look at the only guys that they brought in is really Mac Jones, DeMarcus Robinson, and then some other roster fillers.
Yeah.
I got 2 quick ones which we're going to talk about real quick. My last 2, since you don't have any. The Browns Myles Garrett extension.
Terrible.
It's not a good deal, especially for where you are.
Should trade him.
Exactly. Where you are as an organization right now. I understand not wanting to be the GM that moves on from probably one of the best players in your franchise's history. But a 4-year, $160 million contract for a guy who's injured a lot, aging, and especially when you're in prime position to take a possible generational pass rusher in the NFL draft, I feel like now is the last time you can get a fat haul for Myles Garrett.
You have people talking about giving up 2 first-round picks and more.
You should be on that.
2 first-round picks, players, and later-round picks. I mean, shit, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think, and you take a look in the draft, Abdul Carter's sitting right there. Abdul Carter, if he's even a fraction as good of a player as people think he is, he can slot into that Myles Garrett role perfectly.
Yep.
They'll be fine. You don't got to worry.
It was a very, I don't know. It was a very, jersey sales?
Shit, yeah. Someone to put on the season ticket?
For some reason, the Browns are so convinced, GM Andrew Berry is so convinced that this team is in a position to win right now. And they're just not. I mean, fuck. What are you going to do? You got Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson, and you're fighting for Russell Wilson. I mean, shit.
It's not a good scene.
No, you have no receivers.
Shit.
You have no. Who's their best receiver right now?
Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman.
Okay, yeah, I guess you do have 2 receivers.
They're okay.
Yeah,
they were better with Jameis.
Yeah.
My last move is a move that hasn't happened yet. I have all these teams sitting waiting for Aaron Rodgers to make a decision. You're just sitting on your hand with your
with your cock in your hand.
I was trying to think of how I could say that because I was gonna say sitting on your hand with your cock in your hand, but like that's not really a great like.
Sitting on your hand with a cock in your hand.
It's not a great visual, but even if you want to bring him in just for a few years to like help develop a young quarterback, I don't want this fucking psycho anywhere near my goddamn young quarterbacks.
Get the fuck away from my kids.
He's a problem on the field because he has not been as great as he has been in the past. And he's a problem off the field because he just constantly wants to go on the Pat McAfee show and talk shit about his team.
And at the end of the day, like Aaron Rodgers is such a little bitch. I love him. He'll be a Hall of Famer. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a great quarterback. 3-time, 2-time, I don't know, something MVP, won a Super Bowl. He's fantastic. He's a bitch.
Yeah, and he looks weird.
Yeah.
And I don't like the way his helmet sits on his head.
Get rid of that goofy-ass old helmet, brother.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You could have changed helmets a long time ago. Matthew Stafford changed helmets. You could have changed it too.
Shit.
Tell him.
That was my last shitty move.
Yeah.
Yep. Real quick, do you want to talk about some of the guys left and maybe where we want to see them?
Yeah, we got a few guys. My biggest guy, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Stephon Diggs is probably the best free agent out there.
Stephon Diggs just unarchived all of his Buffalo posts.
Hey, man, I'd love a Bill Stephon Diggs reunion.
That's not what I want. I want him to go. He was actually just seen recently working out with Geno Smith. I think he'd look good in silver and black.
And they could pay him too, and that works. That makes sense.
Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert.
Tyler Lockett.
Hey.
That makes a lot of sense. I can see that happening. Another guy. I'm sorry. Before I let you
do your thing, man.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Like, I understand there's the injury concerns, but didn't we kind of put that in the past last year? He played fantastic last season for the Chargers.
Yeah. I feel like injury concerns should just be thrown out the window at this point because there's not really a team in the NFL that doesn't have a running back by committee.
Yeah.
And that was his main issue, really. He was just had a fat fucking workload.
Yeah.
And he was just constantly getting hurt because of it. But any team that signs him is going to be better off.
I don't understand how there's so many, like, I'm not going to say there's so many running back places where running backs can sign, but still, J.K. Dobbins is just a really good running back, and he's been the best running back on the market, I think, since the beginning of free agency. I think he is the best running back there. And I'm shocked that we're a week and a half in, and he hasn't signed yet.
When he went to the Chargers, was it a free agent move or did he get traded?
Free agent.
So how did he end up getting a team quicker than he did right now? And he had his best season
probably
of his
asking
career.
for more money.
Probably, but it still can't be that much. It can't be that much.
He's in, Miles Sanders, what was it, 2 years ago, where he signed the 4-year, $24 million contract with the Panthers, $6 million a year. That's J.K. Dobbins' money, in my opinion.
That's a good deal right now.
Yeah, that seems like a great deal for a team to go out and get, Rico Dowdle signing a deal before J.K. Dobbins. I like Rico Dowdle, but I think J.K. Dobbins is better.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree with you. And the Cowboys signed Javonte as their starter.
I don't know. It's weird. I think J.K. Dobbins definitely should have signed by now, and it doesn't make sense to me why he hasn't.
Yeah, doesn't make much sense. Keenan Allen taking his ass back to the Chargers.
Yep.
I guess we're going to just fly through these.
Yeah,
real quick.
Yeah, go.
Jedrick Wills, I like the Texans. They get younger, fix that O-line up a little bit. Aaron Rodgers, I guess Steelers.
I don't give a shit. Fucking retire at this point. I'm so tired of your bullshit.
Von Miller should retire, but I think he's going to chase a ring and go to the Chiefs.
I love Von Miller going anywhere, man. Von Miller, I wish he would go back to the Bills on a cheap deal.
That'd be nice.
And then you could cycle between a few guys. You could cycle between Bosa, Miller. Is Rousseau of edge or tackle or defensive tackle?
He's the edge,
right? So you cycle between the three of them. You get a little thing going on there. I like that.
Didn't they just cut him though?
Von Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You think he's just gonna go back? Oh yeah.
Use check, man.
Shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sign him back on a cheaper deal. It's okay. We paid him a little too much to come there. That's fine. Bring him back. You don't gotta move. It makes everybody's life easy.
Hell yeah, it does. Amari Cooper, Jaguars, or we just talked about Denver.
Broncos. Nice. I like the Broncos a lot for Amari.
Yeah. Matt Judon, Panthers, get a veteran pass
I totally
rusher.
Forgot about Matthew Judon.
Yes. I don't think he had that great of a season last year.
No, but the year before he was fantastic. It's very weird. Yeah. You know, I think he was playing. He didn't get an extension with the Falcons, which was a little odd, and then he didn't get paid. Yeah,
on the market.
Yeah, shit.
And finally, everyone's favorite former Brown, Nick Chubb. The Giants. Go play with Tyrone Tracy.
Oh, Tyrone Tracy, Nick Chubb backfield. That's kind of fun.
I like them, or maybe to the Bengals.
I think there's a very high chance he goes back to the Browns.
Probably.
I think out of all of them, I'd say there's probably a 70% chance he goes back to the Browns.
Who's their starting running back? Is it Jerome Ford right now?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, probably. They didn't sign anybody, not to my knowledge.
The offense is weird.
But it's such a great running back class. That's a large reason why nobody's signing any of these guys. And if they are signing them, they're signing the cheap guys for $1 million.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's all we got.
Yeah, that's it.
That is all we got for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Not a Football Show. My name is Tico from the Tico Fantasy Show, and this is my pal,
Sully Sports.
And you are watching the Not a Football Show.
We love the Tico Fantasy Show.